For Daily Ask Reddit. Managers of Reddit, what made you fire an employee on their first day? The dude who showed up in pants so tight you could see his entire dock and balls. It was a children's bounce play area / fun zone. We told him to go home and change. He came back over an hour later with Starbucks in blindingly white skinny jeans. Same issue. Parents complained the first time. The dude who showed up in pants so tight you could see his entire dock and balls. It was a children's bounce play area / fun zone. She just left. I couldn't find her anywhere. Called her later at her parents' home and fired her. Mom was pissed at me. I'm sorry ma'am, but I'm not in the business of employing people that don't work for me. Couldn't even have lunch that day because of her. So grumpy and hungry me just hang up. The guy signed a non-disclosure as we were working around movie sets and production offices. Throughout the day he continuously asked if he could take photographs. Finally, I realized that his employment was not worth risking my own employment or the production company's information. He was relocated elsewhere, but he did not last long from what I hear. Ugh, I feel this. We had a secured room where we explicitly said no photo / video. People took video of some spicy food potluck they had. To their credit they deliberately framed the shot to exclude all the confidential data, but it was on YouTube and shared before I found out. I had to have some very unpleasant conversations with the team after that. A bank bar manager here. This happened at my previous pub. New guy's first shift, and he was constantly on his phone and going for cigarette breaks without permission. 2 hours into his shift his mates came in and he gave them all free drinks, shots, and snacks. Fired him on the spot, and he had the audacity to appeal, despite overwhelming evidence against him including 5 witness statements and CCTV, not to mention the stock count deficit. 5 witnesses of a 5-finger discount for 5 fingers of vodka. Guy lied about knowing how to drive forklift. Drove into support beam. I did this, but I didn't lie. They brought in a stand-up forklift, and I had never been trained. I did fine for the first 7 HRS 55 minutes. My team leader was really pleased that I had picked it up quicker than most. 5 minutes before the end of my shift I clipped the beam. I bent it slightly. My team leader came running up, and after finding out I was okay started laughing. We had to go up to the office and take a drug test. I was clean but it's procedure. Never heard about it again. Girl snorted in disgust when I asked her to clear a table in her section. Wouldn't be shown how to set a table and snapped at another manager. Do you even want to be here? I asked. Not really. Okay, grab your stuff. Good luck to you. Sounds like mommy made her get a job and she resented it. My cousin is spoiled as duck. I previously commented on how he sued a bouncer for assaulting him, driving the nightclub and the bouncer to huge debts as a result of litigation. Anyway, my cousin's dad owns many companies. One day, the office manager of one of those companies fired him because he always shows up after 2 PM at work. My cousin said he'll regret it. Unfortunately, the dad called the manager, told him to put him on the loudspeaker, and said no favors in front of everyone. Still fired. He eventually weaved his way back in after facing some huge dressing down from his dad. Well, second day for this one. Old guy kept dozing off during training. Denied it when I addressed him about it, and yet it kept happening. Fired him for it on day 2. Fast forward maybe 8 months. He emails me to let me know that he really had been falling asleep and I had been justified with the action I took. He realized there was an issue a few weeks after I terminated him because he fell asleep while driving and rear-ended another vehicle, went to a specialist as a result, and they found that the Parkinson's medication he'd started shortly before beginning training was making him narcoleptic. Said he had rectified that with new meds and asked for a second chance. Gave him the opportunity for a do-over, and lo and behold, he's a good employee. I'm really glad you gave him a second chance. Chief officer of a merchant vessel here. Technically, second in command of the ship after the captain. A seaman joined our ship while our vessel was berthed in Mobile, Alabama. He was carrying a plastic water bottle during familiarization rounds on deck with the third officer, and when it was empty proceeded to throw the bottle overboard. My Russian captain saw this, calmly asked me to call the seaman to his office, gave back all his documents, asked the agent to book him a flight back to where he came from. All of this happened in a span of 3 hours. That was very nice of the captain. Both giving him a flight back and allowing him to disembark via the gangway.